Friday morning. It is 8 o'clock on the dot. I'm first warning meteorologist Eric Burris. This is Coffee Talk. We get together 7 days a week, chat about what's going on in the world of weather. Hopefully get your day started off on the right note. Hopefully get you updated in the world of weather and answer any questions that you may have regarding the world of weather. You never know when the train goes off the track. Before anything else, it's chilly outside. Let's raise our cup and do our best to try and stay warm. I've got the long sleeves on today and probably going to end up throwing on a jacket. How low did the temperatures get in Central Florida this morning? Here's a look at our official lows, and of course we'll be scouring the database to see if anything got lower. 51 was our low temperature in Orlando this morning. 50 degrees in Leesburg. 45. Are you kidding me? Up in Ocala. It was 47 in Palm Coast. And even in Brevard County, 52 in Melbourne. Yeesh McGeesh. 51 degrees in Palm Bay. So it was a chilly start to the day. Now, that said, what's ahead? We've got plenty to talk about in the world of weather. Top two things that we're monitoring. First off, I think everybody's in agreement. The holidays start next week, and we've got your Thanksgiving forecast covered. We'll talk about it. We'll take a look at travel, all of that fun stuff. Plus, morning nights? What? That's right. It's maybe the earliest college football start I've ever seen. 11 a.m.? What? 11 a.m. for a football game? Tailgating in the morning? Somebody said to me kegs and eggs the other day, and I just thought it was so funny. I know that I've been saying that a lot. I just think it's a funny statement. So anyway, we've got you covered every single step of the way. But first, let's go outside to one of our cooler spots. You're going to have to tilt your head for this one, right? That's Ocala. With the Christmas tree out, good morning to you, Marion County. The skies are blue. Temperatures have come up just a little bit from our morning lows. Here's a look at our live temperatures. Now, what you're seeing on the bottom, those are our current official readings, but what you're seeing on the screen are 5-minute observations, so they're a little different there. 45 right now in Ocala. It's 53 degrees in Orlando, 53 degrees in Bithlo. It's 53 degrees back over to Claremont. A lovely start to the day, 47 in Palm Coast. So temperatures are about where they bottomed out. In some cases, we're starting to see things coming up just a little bit. It is a chilly start to the day. Oh, and then add to the fact that we're working a wind here about 5-10 miles an hour. It's adding, and I can tell you, it's adding a little bit of bite. Not much, just a little bit of bite. Our first warning live Doppler radar has been watching, I'll bring it full screen for you. It has been watching a few showers around. It's not been a ton, but I got a few sprinkles. I got a few sprinkles on the car driving the kids to school this morning. So that's just one of those things that we're going to have to deal with this morning, but not a lot of moisture. It looks like it's going to be a lovely day. 59 our 11 o'clock temperature, 64 degrees our 1 o'clock temperature, and working up to about 67. It's going to be a gorgeous day. Plenty of clouds over top of us this morning, but through the day, we'll see those clouds gradually tapering off. We'll see more and more sun shining. Jennifer, Joanne, good morning to y'all. How are ya? Hope you're doing well. Frank says, loving this colder weather. Indeed. Joanne says, turn the heat on for a few to take the chill off. I get it. I didn't, but I'm not judging you. You know what I mean? I just bundled up. Yeah. Marie, good morning to you. How are ya? Hope you're doing well. It's super chilly in Daytona Beach. Yeah, Dawn, I get that. It's pretty much super chilly just everywhere. Faith says it's too cold for me. I get that. Beach weather for Northerners. Well, Denise, you're not wrong. I mean, they're going to be the ones that are out walking the shores. Meanwhile, I'd be in like a parka. You know what I mean? David, good morning to you. Watching from frigid Oklahoma, Tiffany says, good morning. Yeah, it's a little colder there than it is here. Let's look at temperature. I mean, for perspective purposes, let's Let's look at the wide perspective here, okay? First off, there is a monster lake effect snow event taking place up to the north. Let me bring it full screen for you. Monster lake effect snow event taking place. Upstate New York, you see those streamers of lake effect snow right where the mouse is? Yeah, that's a mess. A little bit of snow coming across Oklahoma into northwest Arkansas, Bentonville, Rogers, Oklahoma City, Tulsa. But in our area, we've got that band of clouds over top of us. It's actually not too bad. Now let's talk temperatures as I type it in. Stand by. I gotta find it. I'll find it. Give me a minute. Here it is. All right, here's temperatures across the entire country. Does that say 9 degrees in Sioux Falls? Truth be told, I have only ever been in temperatures down into the teens, and I thought my booger froze to my nose. I mean, it was like terrifyingly cold for me. To get into the single digits, I feel like that's a whole other level of terror. Then again, I'm a Floridian, so what are you going to do? Terrace is loving this weather. Yeah. Heat on in the RV, chilly in here, Nikki. I would imagine that that's a thing. Yeah. That's my northerner family and all that snowy area. I can't even wrap my head around it. Yeah. I love it. Takes me home to Illinois. Hoodies, sweats, bonfires, etc., etc. I need to get a fire pit. That's one of my things I want to add in my backyard. Yeah. They moved to Detroit because of the amount of snow they're expecting in Buffalo. Oh, for the football game this weekend. Yes. Isn't that wild? Tammy says, Eric, does this make any sense to you? It feels colder here in Florida than up north. Is there any reasoning to that, or is it just feeling that way? So it all has to do with the humidity, and I know that it sounds chilly, Jesus, come on, Burris. I know it sounds silly, but wherever we are, we're at about the dew point. You know, if we were to check dew point temp, like for example, Sioux Falls, it's 9 degrees. I'm just going to check Sioux Falls current data. Stand by. Oh, I misspelled it. Hello, Burris. All right, so Sioux Falls, South Dakota, all right? Current temperature, 9 degrees, right? The dew point is 4 degrees, so that's super dry. All right, let's go to Buffalo. All right, up in Erie County, 28 degrees. Dew point 26, right? So 53, and so we've got more moisture in the air, and the more moisture that's in the air, the more bite. It has to do with just like heat index, right? We've got more moisture, so it's more weather you can wear of sorts. Yeah, it's a whole other thing. Paul says you haven't experienced cold till you've used an outhouse at negative 40. Does it work, or does it like freeze upon contact with the air? That's where is that bad that that's where my mind goes? Like, you don't have to answer that question, but like I've seen people that throw boiling water into the air and it instantly freezes. So what does that play out? Paul, again, you don't have to answer. I'm going to get yelled at. The boss one of these days is going to yell at me for this coffee talk content. I know I'm not the only one that thought that. Kenneth, good morning, buddy. The pictures and videos I've been seeing from my family up in Buffalo and Jamestown are crazy with the snow already. Oh, indeed. Indeed there is. I grew up in Vermont, Denise says. That was my life until moving here to Central Florida 8 years ago. When you breathe out, your breath freezes right in front of you. Yeah, I've been to Vermont in the summer, and it felt like spring in Florida. It's chilly. It's a whole next level thing going on. Paul says over time it creates poosicles. Don't even know what to say. Remember when we talk about the train going off the tracks? I think we flew off at some point here. Jeez Louise. Tammy says, that's not bad content. That's actually a good question. I mean, right? I don't know. The boss is watching. I apologize. All right. So we've established the fact that it's like disgustingly cold. Frank says that would hurt. Yeah. Oh, sticking to a porta potty? I saw a poor guy on TikTok yesterday who had his cheeks frozen to a porta potty up north. Like Christmas Story style, like. And then what do? Do you like kick the door and you're just like, hey, I need some help. Talk about a precarious situation. All right, now the boss is really going to yell at me. All right, shall we continue with our discussion before I get yelled at? Today, obviously, we need to have jackets out the door. It's just chilly. Later today, we could get into sweatshirts. I get it. I can tell you, I just wore the long sleeve shirt, and I'm a guy who loves to have my sleeves rolled up. Couldn't do it today. Needed to have the long sleeves long. Later today, I'll probably be able to roll the sleeves down. It's going to be nice, and it's going to be cool through the day. 40s this morning out the door, 60s by the afternoon. So let's talk about our high temperatures across Central Florida. Lovely, lovely weather for you. Average high temperature, top of the screen, 78. We are nowhere near that today. 67 degrees, our high temperature in the city. 66 in Leesburg. It's 64 in the Villages, 64 degrees Daytona Beach, and 62 degrees in Palm Coast. So looking absolutely gorgeous. Futurecast, by the way, showing clouds streaming through, but we'll see more and more sun shining as the day. Look at that, 2:30, 3 o'clock. It's gorgeous. And that means outdoor activities tonight are looking absolutely phenomenal. So whatever your plans are, my friends, get outside, enjoy. If you're heading out, I think, is today the last day of Food and Wine? Is that today? I'm just Googling it. Epcot Food and Wine Festival. I think today's the last day. Stand by. Page is loading. Either today or tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day. Okay, so Food and Wine, last day, right around the corner, people. Okay, beautiful weather. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful weather. All right. I did see somebody asking about Thanksgiving. So let's chat about Thanksgiving week, okay? Here's your high temperatures. Average high is 77. This weekend's looking wonderful. High temperatures in the 70s. We're getting into the upper 70s Monday, Tuesday. And then by Wednesday, we're going to start to warm things up. I do want to point out, though, that our weather forecast is going to start to turn a bit more disturbed. And I don't mean that like Halloween style disturbed. I mean that more in like rain type disturbed, okay? So here we are. We're sitting pretty. Bright sunshine, cool temperatures. It looks great. For us this weekend, there's a little piece of energy that's going to start to bubble up in the Gulf of Mexico. Data right now doesn't look like terrifying or anything. And certainly water temperatures have started dropping. So it's not like we're looking at tropical stuff, thankfully. But that moisture kind of starts to work itself our direction. And along the old front, look for by Sunday a few showers. You kind of see it there. A few showers starting to work in. And then into Monday, Tuesday, that moisture is going to start to work its way our direction little by little by little. So let's take a look all in all here on the 7-day forecast. And we see those rain chances going up. It's not a mess, right? It's not a mess. But there are showers around, okay? So just keep that in mind. And obviously those lower 80s coming into focus. All right? All right, now for your questions. It will be a cold biking ride this morning, Arnett says. Indeed it will, my dear. Sorry about that. Sorry. Lachlan says, good evening. Once again, Eric, waving at you from down under. Once again, you're by far my favorite for overseas weather. And a good day to all of your fellow viewers. Well, good morning, good evening. It's morning here. Good evening to you. Come on over here, Lachlan. Get over here. Yukon. I don't know about Food and Wine. Let the Disney passes expire. They're expensive, aren't they? Well, enjoy your mild day. Got to get the kiddos off to school. Enjoy, Tiffany. Hope you have a wonderful day, my love. Terry, not as cold as first thought, but the wind is still cutting. See? And not cold as your first thought. We're pretty much right where we had expected things to be. Tardy for the party, Janice. It's okay. You don't need a pass here. You're good. You're good. Betty says, I'm the owner of the Antiques Family Chamber pot. It was used in winter when we had no upstairs heating. Lovely wooden with the I have no... Is that a thing? I don't even know. Raindrops keep falling in my head. There's a few showers. There will be a few more. You can see Saturday's looking good. Today's looking good. But into early next week, we do start to change things around just a little bit. Yeah. Yukon, how will the fronts affected LRC and tropical steering conditions next season? So what I will be using the fronts and everything for is timing out kind of cold snaps through winter. Okay, that's number one. And by the way, I think we are starting our first recycle in the LRC. I think that's happening. So, interesting. There's that. Number two, we'll be able to time out storm systems, yada, 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 yada. Tammy, next week, can you share one of your holiday recipes with all of us? Oh, like a smorgasbord of sorts. I like that idea. What should I share? I'm not a chef. I have some recipes, but I'm not, believe me, I don't make them up. These are things that I've stolen off the internet and maybe tweaked around a little bit. But that's not a bad idea, Tiffany. Tammy. Yeah, I like that idea. All right, let's do that. Annie says, I dream to go there. Bucket list. Oh, Australia? Me too. I actually have a friend, an engineer at the station, who is there right now. I'm so jealous of you, Pat. So jealous of you. I know it's early, Cindy says, but can you tell us something about temps at Christmas? So we can look at the BSR. I can't, it's still at this point, the BSR will be in model data, so it's going to be much less accurate, but it's an idea. And it doesn't go all the way to Christmas just yet. This is... kind of a moderating flow. Let me just run the numbers on when this is playing out. So that's December 21st. So by Tuesday of next week, we'll at least be able to eyeball Christmas by Tuesday of next week. In the meantime, we can just kind of lead up to it, which is where we are here. It looks pretty nice, but that's kind of a return flow off of these, so maybe getting a few showers overrunning clouds. Again, that's like the 22nd or so. So we're not quite to Christmas. We're not quite to, listen, we're just into Thanksgiving, for goodness sake. We're not quite to Christmas just yet. Lily, what are your thoughts about the latest GFS run, late month, early December? Well, when we were looking at the BSR, and I have not seen the GFS yet this morning. We'll pull this up. But when we were looking at the BSR yesterday, and I'm looking in a tropics mode just to see, not necessarily for tropical stuff, but just in general. But when we were looking late November into December, looks active. You got something in the Caribbean. Is that what you're referring to? It would be really hard to get something picking up to us, but that's interesting. Talking about this 994 low, early December. Let's see. This is current run. Let's go back a run. Oh, well, there's that. Let's go back 2 runs. It's gone. So that's interesting. December 3rd. That would be something. Lily, that would be something. With the way that the cold fronts are starting to run, though, I mean, it'd have to have some real chutzpah to be able to get up this far. I'll tell you that much. Did I order my rocket? I didn't. I had like 100 appointments yesterday. I need to go find. But the thing is I've got to find rockets that are small enough. Because I've got maybe a foot. Maybe a foot and a half, maybe a foot and a half of shelf space. Yeah, there's a tape measure just sitting on my desk. Don't judge me. So yeah, maybe a foot and a half. So I need to find a Falcon 9, need to find an Atlas 5, need to find an SLS. I gotta work it out. That's okay. Janice says, would love to have your grandmother's recipe for matzo ball soup. That's what I was thinking, Janice. I was thinking of sharing that one. Yeah. Janet, I'm still here, baby. I'm still here. Let's see here. Outside now, walking cannoli. All I have in Daytona is Burr. I'm assuming cannoli's the dog. Mickey, did you hang your picture frame? It's up. I got it. And it's funny now because there are now 4, 5. There are now 6 pictures across my back. But given where my desk is located, it's this one that had to go up to make it look balanced. So now if I'm pointed this way, at least you've got the picture frames. If I'm pointed that way, you've got the bookcases. See what I do for you? SLS is out there as well as the others. Yeah, I just need to find something smallish. That's all. That's all. Carl, you're going to need a bigger shelf. I mean, I don't know. I don't want it to like take over the place, you know. All right. So, any questions, comments, concerns? Y'all want the recipe? All right, we can do the recipe. Now, let me ask. Yeah, my grandmother also poured no measurements, Joanne. But before my grandmother passed, it's funny. Before my grandmother passed, I said to her, and she was like 90, 89, and we had quite a few stories about her knowing that more of her life was behind her than ahead of her. I mean, when at 90, that's the way it is. And I said to her, one day I want to get several recipes of yours that I cherish. And excuse me. And she said, let's do it. And she flippin' made me cry that entire time because as I'm working with her on making the soup, she's like, and we throw a little of this. I'm like, Grandma, you need to measure this. And she's like, oh, you're so into science. You know, she didn't want to be bothered by the numbers. But I'm like, I want to make sure I get this right. And can I tell you, I get it right every time now. With the weather cold like it is, I may have to make some matzo ball soup. Yeah, the shelves, Joanna, are movable. So yeah, that's. But and one other thing, and I've shared the recipe with several people because it's one of those things that you could be the guy that's like, it's a secret family recipe. I don't look at it that way. I look at it as she was willing to share it. And if I can do this and keep, if I share it with you and just in that moment when you're making it for your family, you think of my grandmother, why the heck not? Seriously. But while I was taking, this is the recipe. While I was taking the notes, I wrote it just how she said it. Like at the very end, her comment is, when referring to the chicken, she said, the chicken needs to be clean, 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 because I don't like any leftovers of the chicken. It could be very veiny. Pull all that crap off. Clean off pieces of fat and things, but leave the skin on. So there's those little things. So yeah, I will, next week we'll do that. I'll share the recipe. I've never had matzo ball soup, Susie says. Well, next week we'll have to post. Get your recipes that you want so that we can post them, okay? And I'll do the same with my grandmother's. Practice does make perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Janice says sharing is caring. We'll think of her. And it's not like the world's most advanced recipe. It's not the most. Maybe she used to do matzo balls by hand. She ended up using Street's matzo ball mix. It's great, Maybe she used to do it a different way, but in her age, she did it with the Streets. It's fine with me. Yeah. Julie says, I can't seem to get my matzo balls fluffy. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that you'll struggle with this. This one's pretty easy. At least the matzo balls. The soup itself is pretty easy, and I will I'll share while I'm sharing the recipe. I'll also share. I'll share some of the hacks that I've done over the years. Chris says start with a pound of butter. I actually don't think there's any butter in the recipe. No butter. No butter in the recipe. How long does it take to make? A couple of hours, Linda. Yeah, a couple of hours. With this kind of weather, yeah, we have to do it. So yeah, I'll share next week. I'll share pictures of Grandma and I, and yeah, it'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun. But I'm only going to do it under one condition. I want your Thanksgiving recipes too, people. Will you be willing to share? I can't be the only one doing this. I am no chef. I will share my grandmother's. We're going to have our own coffee talk smorgasbord, which means I'm going to need a stuffing recipe, preferably with sausage and cornbread. If you've got one of those, and if you put like fruit in it, I need that recipe. You have a macaroni and cheese recipe that's to die for? All right, we're going to be posting. I'm going to need your recipes. Better yet, let's do this, okay? Better idea. I'm going to make, you know how we use the Coffee Talk drive-thru? Catherine says there was a great Jewish deli called Ronnie's many years ago in Orlando. First time I had that soup. I have Ronnie's t-shirts. I adore Ronnie's, and I don't even know that I ever went there as a kid. All right, so here's an idea, even better, okay? I'm going to set up the form that we used to use for the Coffee Talk drive-thru, and we will again in the quiet season. I'll set it up so that you can upload your recipes. And then I'll make graphics and we can talk it through. What do y'all think? I'll make the graphics and we'll talk through and we'll present it together. And then, oh my gosh, this sounds so fun. Okay? Yep, that's what it is. The Coffee Talk Friendsgiving. Now I have something to work on for next week. So let's do that. Let's do that on Wednesday. So what I'll do is I'll set the link up tonight or tomorrow. And then on Coffee Talk this weekend, I'll have the link up where you can put your name, whose recipe it is, post the recipe, and I'll build graphics. So that we can go over it. And then we'll aggregate things on Saturday, on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I'll pick like one of each that I can't, I'll pick as many as I can. And Wednesday, what do you say? Like Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, does that work for you guys? What do you think? I love the idea of recipes. I love this idea. Y'all. This is fun, the cooking show. Listen, Dave, you don't want to see me cooking. I think that I do an okay job. I'm not like, I'm not like the most wonderful looking guy. I'm not like the people on TV where it's like, and then we, do this and this. Betty's asking, how many will the recipe need to feed? See, I don't think that matters. As long as it's a recipe, we could scale it if we need to. Whatever the recipe is that you love. Oh my God, I love this recipe. All right, so I'm going to set it up. It's not up now, but I'm going to set it up. Let me see if I even have this. I think this is still a thing. WooBox. It is still a thing. Excellent. Okay. I'll get this set up. When I do, it's going to be so fun. All right, there it is. So that's what we've got, people. That's what we have lined up for Wednesday. Ooh, we're going to have our own Thanksgiving recipes. How fun. And I want notes. Oh my God, this is going to be so fun. Thank you. Angela says, not that you care, but I think your new haircut looks really cute. Oh, thank you. No, I'm not a freaky stalker. As long as you're just... I'm trying to think of a way to say this funny. As long as you're not a stalker, you're good. All right. I love it. We're going to have so much fun. Dustin says Sand Space Flight Center in Cape Canaveral is 45 SW Media Checkpoint. Great rocket. Oh, been there many, 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 many times. Yeah. Been there many, 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 many times. That's true. I probably should swing by there, Dustin. That's a good point. Or ask my buddy John. Pat says we can have our own Eric and Friends cookbook. I think we're about to do that, guys. Man, this is fun. And how did the suit shopping go? Terrible. So I'm going to go get fitted for custom suits today. Sidebar, and I'm paying full price for these suits. But if anybody's ever interested in something fun, I have discovered this company called Indochino. They make custom clothing. And if I'm honest, like I'm buying the less expensive suits on their site. But I'm going to get fitted today, and it's like $325 for a custom suit, which that's what you're pretty much going to pay at like a Macy's or another place anyway. So, yeah. But I'm going to go get some new stuff custom this time just because my awkward body shape is awkward. So, anyway. Oh my gosh, we're going to have recipes, y'all. All right. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. How fun. Y'all gave me something so fun to look forward to. Janet says, the rain question I gave, important Disney Springs evening events, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I would say a few showers. I'm not thinking that it's going to be a washout or anything, but there will be a few showers around. All right? Susan says, Tuesday. When we have time to shop, use of Thursday, if they're amazing. Okay. Are we going to do it Tuesday? Are we going to do Tuesday? What do you think? Recipes on Tuesday? I guess I just figured that if we did it Wednesday morning, then we could cook through the day Wednesday. But it kind of also makes this like special day before Thanksgiving vibe. I don't know. Tina says yes for Tuesday. Maybe Tuesday's better. Wednesday's more fun. I agree, Wednesday's more fun, but Tammy also says Tuesday. Nancy, Deborah says Tuesday. Seems like everybody kind of, yeah. Is that the vibe? Is that the general consensus we're going with here? Janice says any day. But if we don't have the ingredients, we will need to shop. But isn't that what Wednesday? Monday, Debbie. Oh, I like it. All right. So they're right. Time to shop for ingredients. Okay. I just thought Wednesday we could shop for ingredients. No. I was going to say Tuesday's better and smarter. Wednesday's more fun, but Tuesday will give people the extra day to hit the craziness of the grocery store. Okay. All right, Cindy, I like that. We'll do part 1 on Tuesday, and we'll do some on Wednesday. How does that work? Is that fair? We'll do part 1 and part 2. I like Jan's idea. Recipes on Tuesday, results on Wednesday. Tuesday overlap Wednesday. All right. I like that. All right. So I'll get that link set up. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention this earlier. The UCF forecast. Y'all, we have got to represent wonderful weather out at the Bounce House. And I'll probably be there. I think I'm going to end up going straight from Wesh to the house to pick up the kids and then run to the game. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, I'm going to go get that set up. In about an hour, wesh.com/coffee talk. I'll post the links on all the pages. All right? Share your recipes. wesh.com/coffee talk. It's not set up yet. Give me like an hour to get it turned around. We just came up with this idea on the fly. All right? I'm going to go get that set up, and then I'm going to go get fitted for suits. Bye, guys. Be the sunshine.